Okay, welcome to part two. So they ended up moving, and Naomi's husband dies, and then her two sons get married to Ruth, and I forget the other one's name. And then the sons die, so then it's just Ruth and then her two daughters-in-law. Okay. So Naomi had no reason to stay on that land anymore. She wanted to move back, and she told her daughters-in-law to stay behind. And the one daughter-in-law was like, "Okay, see ya." And then and then Ruth was like, "No, I'm coming with you. Wherever you go, I go. Your God is my God," basically. So that is Ruth showing her loyalty to her family. That's the first one. She's devoted to her family. Okay, girl? And then starting in chapter 2, Naomi and Ruth discuss where they're going to get food, and it happens to be the beginning of like the barley harvest or whatever. So Ruth goes off to the field, and she runs into this farmer. His name is Boaz, which happens to be a relative of Naomi's, and he is the what's the name? He's the redeemer of the family. So whoever like the redeemer is, let me know if I'm explaining this wrong, but I'm pretty sure the redeemer, whatever, he's the one who has to marry the widow, if that makes any sense. So anyways, Ruth's in the field, they start talking, and Boaz is just like in shock and amazed by Ruth's loyalty to Naomi, that she is so devoted to helping Naomi and just being a good person, period. And then Boaz also ends up praying for her, that God will reward her for her loyalty and just being a good person. So Ruth goes back, and Ruth tells Naomi everything, like, "Oh, I just ran into blah, blah, blah." And Naomi is so excited that they met, and she's like, "You guys have to get married." Okay, so I wrote it down, the family redeemer, which means that it's his job to marry the family widow and take up the land. So that's his job. So in chapter 3, Ruth goes to meet Boaz at the farm that night when he was asleep, and basically proposes to him. It's like, "Okay, I want to get married to you." And then they start talking, whatever, and Boaz is amazed by her loyalty again, and how she's a woman of noble character, which is a Proverbs 31 woman. Okay? And then Boaz was like, "Okay, give me till tomorrow." So in chapter 4, at the last minute, Boaz discovers that there is a family member closer to Naomi, and sees that if he will marry Ruth, and he was like, "No, whatever." I'm gonna have to make a part 3. Hold on.